In the Sinkfield Cup back in August 2018, Magnus made the gesture of silencing his haters. He had white against Caruana, got a great position out the opening, but then later drew the game. Now it is June 2020. It is the clutch chess final, and it's time for Carlsen to redeem himself. By the end of this video, you'll also be able to answer the following key points. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the clutch chess final between Magnus Carlsen and Fabiano Caruana. At the end of the video, we will be looking at the final standings. Let's check out this amazing game. This is the final game of the tournament. Game 12, Caruana is leading the match. 8.5 to 6.5. Carlsen has white and he must win this game to win the match. This game is worth 3 points, so if he does win, he wins the tournament with 9.5. Carlsen has white, Caruana has black. The game began. c4, e5, the English. Knight c3, knight f6. g3 and bishop b4. And in this position, a logical looking move might be bishop g2, but Carlsen played e4. What's the idea here? In the game, bishop takes c3 was played. Just want to point out, if black castles, white now has an additional move with knight e2, so then the knights protect each other. So after take, you can take back. In the game, bishop takes c3 played to stop white having this option, and then b takes c3. Castle played. Another question, why not knight takes pawn? Because queen e2, you get the pawn back with a nice position. If you move the knight back to f6, queen takes e5 check, queen e7, take, bishop g2, white has a nice ending. Back to the game, black castled, f3 now. Notice the bishop is not going to g2 anymore. White has to protect his center. Black is further ahead in development and can use this chance to attack the structure. But how? There are two ways. You can play c6 then d5. You can play a6 then b5, or maybe even c6 then b5. But what does Caruana do? He just launches with b5, pawn sacrifice. Wow, and Carlsen does not take, he just goes d4. The first question must be, why not take? Because then black can launch in the center with d5, and he's just further ahead in development. White's pieces are still in the middle. With d5, this looks like a great position for black. After b5, Carlsen says, no, I'm not going to take it because I'm behind in development. d4. Take. And white now goes e5. You don't want to go bishop c4 first because black can strike with d5, forcing a decision on this pawn as both bishop and pawn are attacked. So you don't want to do that. So Carlsen goes e5 first and knight d5. Another question, why not rook e8? Because it looks like black will break open the center with d6, but this is exactly the time to just sidestep your king, which Carlsen did in their previous game. In the English, king f2 is a good move because it forces the knight to move, and then bishop c4. Back to the game after e5, knight d5 played, bishop c4, bishop b7, and here is another question. Where to put the knight? To e2 or to h3? Now on e2 it looks logical, but h3 was played in the game. So firstly, let's look at e2 and let's just have a look why this option is not so good. Black can break up the center with d6, and after castle, knight d7. This is the point. It looks like white won't have a center anymore because take. If you played f4, then this bishop is very much alive on this diagonal. That's why in the game, after bishop b7, knight h3 played. This is a great move for two reasons, and we'll see very soon the other reason. The first reason is maybe something can go to g5. It could be the knight or the bishop. Same moves played as in the other line, d6 and now castle, knight d7. And here's the difference. You can play rook e1. supporting your center. Caruana now takes, and after take, knight b6. Bishop b3, queen e7 played. Another option, you can go c5. c4 getting more space, pushing your pass pawn, and also rook c8 to help. Queen e7 was played, and now Carlsen plays e6, a really good move, trying to break through on the king side. In this position, black blundered with f takes e6. More resilient was to play f6. You've got to stop pieces coming in. Let's say stopping the knight going to g5 or the bishop. Also, after f6, black can sidestep. The king can go in the corner, the rook can go to d8. Also, black can go c5. If white goes a4, you can go a5, and after bishop a3, knight b4, blocking this diagonal, the game continues. However, after e6, black took, giving white a clear way to penetrate the position. Knight g5 played. Rook f6, defending from the side, and already is looking a little bit difficult for black. Queen c2. Knight and queen are targeting h7. Black now played rook g6. Another option was g6, but after bishop b2, this looks very difficult for black. Rook g6 played, and pause the video to find a tactic. How did white now break through? I'll give you 5 seconds. The move is rook takes e6. And white is very much in the driving seat. Queen takes e6 was played, but let's have a look at some other options. The first one doesn't work, allowing checkmate in 2 moves. Queen takes h7 check, king f8, and queen h8 is mate. If you move the queen out the way, let's say to f8, then the rook drops. Take, coming in. And it will be checkmate very soon. The bishop can go to b2 or to a3, queen h7 check as well. So after rook takes e6, Caruana thought there's nothing better. I'm going to give a queen for a rook and a knight. Knight takes e6, rook takes e6, and bishop b2. The bishops are just so strong. Rook e8, bishop d4, king h8, queen f5. Bishop c8 setting up one trap. It looks like a knight might be hanging on d5, but it doesn't work. White gets out the way, queen h5. This is the trap. If you take the knight, then you lose the queen with rook e1 check. Take, king f2, and bishop takes queen. Take, knight d5, and black is up a piece. So Carlsen puts the queen on h5. c5, just deflecting the bishop off this perfect diagonal, but it's going to come back soon anyway. Bishop c5, rook e5, and queen into the position, queen f7. Bishop h3, and bishop f8 played. Another option, bishop d4, eyeing the g7 square, but bishop f8 is very nice as well. And it will be game over very soon. Rook e1 check, take, king f2, no checkmating threats. Rook f1 check, only one square, but that is good enough. King e2, knight c3 check, king d3, and in this position black resigned. Carlsen is the winner. Thank you so much for watching all the way until the end. Here are the key points. Instead of b5, black can strike in the center, with c6 then d5, or maybe a6 then b5, maybe c6 then b5. Knight to h3 is better than knight to e2 because it gave Carlsen 2 possibilities. A knight going to g5, but then, more importantly, rook going to e1, protecting Carlsen's big pawn center. Move 16, f6 was a more resilient move than f takes e6, because then Carlsen came in with knight g5, which led to the winning tactical move, rook takes e6. This worked because the queen on c2 and the knight on g5 attacked h7. Caruana is the runner-up. Prize money $35,000. Clutch bonus $21,000. Winning $56,000 in this tournament. Carlsen is the winner. Prize money $50,000. Clutch bonus $25,000. winning 75,000 in this tournament. If you really enjoyed the show, there is a donation link in the description below. Thank you so much for watching all the way until the very end.